Hey guys, welcome everybody to a new video. I'm your host from Crypto Basket. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, make sure, like always, hit the subscribe button. So in this video, we are going to be talking about the largest Bitcoin NFT sales. Amazon is launching their own NFT marketplace and the latest news on what's going on in the eSport and Web3. Now, before we go ahead and get started, make sure to give this video a like. So looking at the overall crypto market real quick, so it seems like for the most part over the past few days, everything has been going pretty sideways. I think people are kind of accumulating their assets when it comes to the blue chips. A lot of people are selling their weaker NFTs or the ones that they don't necessarily believe in, or something projects like literally stop building during these bear market. So I think there's a lot of accumulation going on, especially for the top tier projects. Now, going into the news, the hottest news right now is that Yuga Labs recently had the project called TwelveFold, and essentially it is NFT inscribed into Bitcoin. So pretty much how it worked was go on to this website and there was a bidding process, meaning that basically if you are the top 288th bidder and above, you are going to win this piece. So basically people put in their bids. They have to wait like 10 to 20 minutes before it shows up because Bitcoin is a lot slower than Ethereum. And then, people will keep bidding and try to, win this thing. And of course, people at the top are going to be flexing, they are going to put that 7 Bitcoin bid up. They're right. But in the end, the lowest bid is on the 288 was going to be around 2 Bitcoins. So there's quite a spread between the cheapest person that paid and the person who paid the most expensive price. And of course, people were paying at the top. You might be thinking like, why did they pay so much? Well, sometimes people have money, they want to flex, right? And a lot of times when it comes to art is a way for people with wealth to showcase their status or whatever. The case is in order to flex on all the people out there. So that's pretty much what is it. And it was a great success, by the way, because they raised $165 million, and this is one of the largest sale Bitcoin NFT project. So I'm pretty sure more people will follow suit because, they are just kind of like taking advantage of an opportunity. Bitcoin NFTs are hot. People want to get into that, right? And speaking of writing, well, degods is also going to be riding that trend of creating entities on Bitcoin. So they say 535 degods on Bitcoin. It's not really clear if they're going to have like 535 different assets similar to how Yuga Labs has like 300 of them, or if they're gonna put 535 on one Bitcoin, because they are basically saying like it's inscribed on your this block in particular. So it's not very clear, but it's definitely drives attention. People are talking about it, and in this game, especially when it comes to PFPs, especially doing these kind of things do drive a lot of attention and is always a way to generate revenue, right? Because Collabs made like $16.5 million selling their Bitcoin NFTs. And how much did they really cost, to pay their artist in-house to create it? Probably not $60 million. The degods are pretty much, just taking their PFP and putting it on Bitcoin. So how much does that really cost? Well, whatever the cost they pay for their developers, right? If it does work, and they have a strong community that wants to buy it, well, they want to collect these things, great. That works for another quick thing on a degod is actually, it seems like you're making a lot moves. They are hiring quite a bit people for that, the lab. So that creating product, using the attention from the gods and creating products on off of that. So kind of interesting that they are hiring a lot of high level people over there. And then over here they have XD gods, which is for people who wants to buy 10 or more degods to join this exclusive community and have more feedback on degods. It's not cheap, right? So having 10 of them, got to have a little money to do that. So it's interesting that they are putting that initiative out there. And again, it's all really an experiment. So who knows if it's going to work or whatever the case is, but just kind of want to bring it to your attention. And if you want to go on to their website just to check it out, they kind of have like more information on like this is exclusive club for you, people with 10 or more degods, alpha first class deal flow if you are like a VC or investor, private conversation with the degods leaders. And for a lot of people, this might be worth it for them, right? Having that right information at the right time, or being able to invest in the right deal that can be worth more than like 10 degods, depending on who you are and what you can invest in terms of your time or connections you want to build. So definitely interesting indeed. Always get to learn from other projects. Moving into the big boys, there's a rumor right now that Amazon reportedly is planning to launch their own NFT marketplace next month. Again, this is a rumor. They haven't put it out an official statement. A lot of news articles have been talking about this, and maybe it's a part of their marketing strategy. Who knows? Because they are like, crystal people love that mysteriousness. So maybe that could be a possibility there. If you think about it, Amazon is pushing really hard when it comes to the whole selling digital asset kind of thing. So they sell movies, you can rent them out, you can buy them, you can buy songs, books and stuff. So they already used to sell digital products. So it makes sense that if crypto potentially can become the future and normal how everyone operates business, it makes sense for Amazon, which is like a huge infrastructure to kind of like dominate that game and get into that easily. So Amazon's gonna be starting off with selecting like 10 to 15 projects to sell on their marketplace, and that's going to be their entry into the space supposedly. But it makes sense, right? Because I think if NFTs becomes normalized, the average person wants to buy it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a PFP project like Nazuki or a DGod or whatever, right? I think there are going to be many different type of NFTs, like there can be an NFT for a digital watch or something like that. That's a book of NFT. That's a song that comes with concert ticket, right? So there are many different use cases of entities, not just the social club PFPs kind of vibe. I can understand them building that infrastructure in order to, maybe nobody knows exactly what the trans will be. We have guesses, but if they have infrastructure, they may be people who are selling these products might want to go to Amazon, because Amazon has a lot of reach. Amazon is like one of the top retailers in the entire world right now. So if they capture 1% of their market to go digital collectibles, and I don't think they would actually get 1% of the bat, but even if they did, that's a lot. And if the trend is moving in that direction, eventually they're going to capture more market share, just depending on where the demand is. So very smart on Amazon to do it. Even if it doesn't work, it's like they have the money to put in resources to hire the smartest people to figure it out. Even if they don't figure it out, it's worth it for them to try to prevent the other person from figuring it out. So definitely smart move from Amazon indeed. Now quickly, I want to talk about eSport. The team Solomon has different teams like League of Legends, Fortnite, CSGO. So they're quite a significant esport team in the scene. So they made an announcement where they are partnering with the Web3 Gaming using Avalanche. I'm sure there are games there, but interesting that they would partner with Avalanche. So the reason why they chose Avalanche specifically, according to this article, is that we think a big part of finding success is finding teams that are easy to work with. Well, many teams are easy to work with technically, like Polygon, easy to work with. That's why so many brands use it. So, my personal guess is that esport in general, it's like pretty unprofitable. There's a lot of buzz and rumors going on. People are laying off employees. It's just a bubble that popped. And then, so I guess if you are an esport team, you gotta start figuring out like if you want to keep your staff. So how is it you're going to make money? And partnering up with crypto companies is one of them, because crypto companies, the ones that are still alive, and some of them have a lot of money and they need more exposure, they need more mainstream adoption to justify the reasons why their token even exists. So I think there's a lot of that going on, according to me, but who knows? I know outside looking in, we see how this plays out. Esport team have a large audience, and if Avalanche can capture that audience some way and monetize it, then they may be, it's going to win for everybody. But one thing I do want to talk about is going to be Faze Clan or Faze Holdings. So if you don't know, Faze Clan was is like one of the hottest esport content creator company, that they basically have this really hot rise. They had a lot of investment and a lot of like top VCs. What they want to do with the company was just like take it public. I understand that, because again, esport teams, there was a definite bubble at the time, and most teams are not even teams, like organizations. They are not very profitable, right? So they basically went public with a SPAC. Now SPAC, if you don't know, is basically like a special vehicle to take a company public that doesn't have to go through all the challenges and hurdles or actually going public. It's kind of like you get a shell company, and then that shell company buys another company, and then because of that shell company was clean, you can take that public, and that shell company just happens to own that company. Okay, so that it bought, and that whole thing goes public, right? So it's like a quick way to go public. And there was a time when, especially during COVID, where everything was going public, and a lot of these projects and companies that went public using a SPAC are down like 90% so far. Faze Clan specifically, of like kind of see at the peak, each share was worth like 17, which was like September 2nd, 2022, which was actually not too long ago, and now it's worth like 56 cents. Like that's a big drop. It's almost like an NFT project in terms of like how far that steep drop is. And I think it really is, because it's difficult to make money in esport, right? Definitely there's a lot of speculation going around. Of course, if you are a trader or if you are someone that's involved in creating specs, you can definitely sell your shares on the way up and create a lot of demand and buzz. Then eventually people realize that they like, hey, how does that company making money again? And it drops, right? It's very similar to NFT projects if you really think about it. So I'm not saying that it's a bad organization. I'm just saying that there's a lot of speculation when it happens. Because at one point, this is like more than $500 million in market cap, and now it's like 40 million. So, it is what it is, relating to NFTs. Like a lot of projects that are going to be popping up, there are going to be like, oh yeah, we are an NFT project or esport and stuff like that. Well, first thing you gotta think about is like, our esport companies even profitable? How are they going to make money? So don't fall for that, near, if you don't know the business behind these gaming companies and esport companies, because a lot of them lose money, right? So don't get fooled by that narrative, especially when the NFT projects attach that to it. And I don't enjoy shade to anyone. It's just like, this is common knowledge. I think everyone should, especially if you are buying NFTs related to gaming in some way. And so with that being said, if you liked the video, share the video around, and I will see you guys in my next video.